The Governor of the State of Illinois has declared a gubernatorial disaster proclamation in response to COVID-19 outbreak, and all of the village of Glendale Heights is covered by the disaster area. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, the village president of the village of Glendale Heights has determined that an in-person meeting for the November 4, 2021 village board meeting is not practical or prudent in light of the disaster. All of the trustees of the village board participating in the November 4, 2021 village board meeting, wherever their physical location shall be verified and determined, that they can hear one another and can hear all discussion and testimony during the meetings. Signed, Chaudhary M.A. Khokhar, Village President of the Village of Glendale Heights, dated November 4, 2021. I would like to call this village board meeting of Thursday, November 4, 2021 to order. Will the clerk please take the roll?
President Coker?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Here.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Here.
Trustee Light?
Here.
Trustee Meritato?
Here.
Trustee Pojek?
Here.
And Trustee Schroeder.
Yes, here.
Please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will continue with petitions and communications. Community announcement. Trustee Schmidt, please.
Thank you.
You all.
The Village of Glendale Heights is looking for hardworking individuals to join our team. We are now offering a variety of career opportunities for full-time, part-time, and seasonal positions. The Parks, Recreation, and Facilities Department is now hiring for a variety of recreation positions, including program facility coordinators, seasonal recreation attendants, and seasonal youth counselors. The Glendale Lakes Golf Club is hiring cooks, a banquet coordinator, wait staff, and a dishwasher. And the village is looking for 3 full-time office technicians. For more information on these job opportunities or for additional career postings, please visit www.glendaleheights.org/HR or contact Human Resources at 630-909-5357. The next coffee and chat with the village president and board will be this Saturday, November 6th, at the Center for Senior Citizens from 10 a.m. to noon. If you are unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the village president or village board, please call the village president's office anytime at 630-909-5302. Thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee Siddiqui, please.
Thank you. Happy holidays. It's that time of year again for our annual Christmas sharing program. Our program is still looking a bit different this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic as we work with school districts to identify those families in need. We appreciate everyone's understanding of these necessary changes to our program. If you are interested in making monetary donation to support the Christmas sharing program and give back to those in need, please contact Debbie Marino at 630-260-6030, extension 6130. The village would like to hear from you on how we can improve our banquets at Glendale Lakes Golf Club. Join us for Banquet Committee Town Hall meeting on Monday, November 8 at 7 p.m. to discuss our banquets and how we can improve our services. This meeting will be held at Village Hall in the council chambers. If you have any questions, please contact myself at 630-909-5306. Thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee Light, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please join the village president, Coker, and the village board of trustees, the Glendale Heights Police Department, and the Glendale Heights VFW Post 2377 for a ceremony at Veterans Memorial Park as we honor all military personnel, past and present. The Veterans Day ceremony will begin at 11 a.m. on Veterans Day, November 11th. The event includes a flag and color guard presentation, rifle salute, and a tribute to our fallen warriors. Please note that all village offices will be closed on Thursday, November 11th, in observance of Veterans Day. For more information, please call the village president's office at 630-909-5302. While writing your holiday greeting cards to friends and family, please remember our military personnel who have or who are currently serving our country during the holidays. The village is collecting holiday greeting cards and will mail them in time for holiday delivery. Please drop off your holiday greeting cards to Village Hall by December 2nd. Please do not put cards in envelopes, decorate cards with glitter, or add personal contact information like email or social media. For more information, please call 630-909-5327. Thank you.
Welcome. We do not have Clerk Schmidt, Ms. Becky. Do we have to read something? No. So we will go on Trustee Maritato.
Thank you.
You will.
During the remainder of November, parking restrictions will be in effect from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. due to street sweeping. Color-coded no parking signs are posted in 4 different zones throughout the village. Parking is prohibited on Monday for the red zone, Tuesday for the blue zone, Wednesday for the green zone, and Friday for the brown zone. To find out your zone, visit the village website. For any questions on the street sweeping program, please contact Public Works at 630-260-6040. We would like to remind residents that per village code, do not rake or move leaves or yard waste onto village streets. This would help ensure our streets are clean and clear of any debris for safe driving. Yard waste collections occur on the same day as regular waste and recycling pickup. The final collection day for yard waste is November 26th and the 27th. If you have any questions, please call Republic Services at 847-981-0091. Thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee Pojek, please.
The Village of Glendale Heights invites the entire community to celebrate the start of the holiday season with the annual tree lighting ceremony on Monday, November 29th. The ceremony will begin at 7 p.m. The annual tree lighting ceremony will be held at Camera Park as we look to the sky for a little holiday cheer. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060.
Trustee Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
It is more important than ever to get a flu vaccine. The DuPage Health Coalition is partnering with Drew Osco to offer free flu shots to low-income and uninsured residents of DuPage County who are also 3 years of age and older. To request a voucher, please visit the village website at www.glendaleheights.org. Also, the Glendale Heights Center for Senior Citizens is a senior health insurance program sponsored site and is offering open enrollment assistance for senior citizens now through December the 7th. Our trained volunteered counselors can provide a one-on-one assistance to Medicare beneficiaries and their caregivers. Volunteer counselors can provide you with the information you need to make an educated decision about your insurance. So please call the Glendale Heights Center for Senior Citizens at 630-260-6050 to schedule an appointment for assistance with your health insurance questions. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, there is a call for a public hearing by the Mayor and Board of Trustees on November 18, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. for the purpose of discussing the annual tax levy, assessment, and collection of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021 and ending April 30th, 2022. We have the following proclamations. A proclamation to proclaim the month of November as National Diabetes Awareness Month. Second, a proclamation to proclaim November 15, 2021 as School Board Member Day. If there are no objections, I will sign these proclamations.
No objection.
Okay, I will sign that. Next is, we now go on to the public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item? None, so we will proceed. Next item, we will continue with executive sessions to discuss, number one, collective negotiation matter between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedule for one or more classes of employees pursuant to the Open Meeting Act 5 LNI CS 120/2C2. Is there a motion to go to executive session? Yes, second.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Trustee Schroeder.
Who's first? Who first?
Trustee Smith.
Bill? Okay. Trustee,
We will move to executive session.
Need a roll call
Trustee
vote.
Schmidt?
Oh, roll call.
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
And Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
We will move to executive session. I would like to call this meeting back to order. No action was taken. So we will continue with the consent agenda. You have the consent agenda before you. Would you, Village Administrator Mike Maron, please read the consent agenda?
Mayor?
President Coker, I would like to have item number 8 removed from the consent agenda.
Excuse me, you want to table that? You want to table that?
We remove it first, then we have to action under new business.
Okay.
That's correct.
So,
That's correct.
should we take a roll call?
That's correct. Trustee Schmitz described it correctly. So it'll just be removed. Mr. Mayor will read everything on the consent agenda except item 8, and then that item will move to,
Number 6, under new business.
that is correct. I guess you could put it under old business too. Doesn't really matter.
I think number 8, Mike, sorry. Not number 6, 8.
Yes, it will become number 6 under new business. Anything else? Okay, the consent agenda. Number 1 is the approval of the regular board meeting minutes of October 21st, 2021. Number 2 is the approval of the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes of October 21st, 2021. Number 3 is the approval of the accounts payable listing of November 4th, 2021 in the amount of $1,734,402.67. Number 4 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award for a copier printer sale and maintenance agreement with Proven Business Systems, LLC, DBA Proven IT, for the Village of Glendale Heights fleet of copier printers and authorizing the execution of the copier printer sale and maintenance agreement with Proven IT and authorizing the execution of a financing agreement with American Capital Financial Services Incorporated. This is Resolution 2021-R-109. Number 5 is a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a collective bargaining agreement with Teamsters Local 700 regarding public works employees. This is Resolution 2021-R-110. Number 6 is a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a collective bargaining agreement with Teamsters Local 700 regarding building maintenance employees. This is Resolution 2021-R-111. Number 7 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of bulk rock salt for the use within the Village of Glendale Heights. This is Resolution 2021-R-112. Number 8 has been removed. Number 9 is a resolution repealing Resolution 2021-R-72, entitled "A Resolution Authorizing the Issuance of a Notice of Award for the Purchase of one Peterbilt 537 lift truck, and authorizing the execution of a purchase order for the purchase of one Peterbilt 537 lift truck." This is Resolution 2021-R-114. Number 10 is a motion to approve pay request number 1 to Joseph J. Henderson and Son Incorporated for the water treatment plant non-potable water replacement project in the total amount not to exceed $341,288.99. This has been attorney approved. Number 11 is a motion to approve pay request number 2 to Joseph J. Henderson and Son Incorporated for the water treatment plant digester rehabilitation project in the total amount not to exceed $273,850.42. This has also been attorney approved. Number 12 is a motion to approve pay request number 2 to Trotter and Associates Incorporated for the wet weather flow improvement project in the total amount not to exceed $117,484.20. This has been attorney approved. And number 13 is the approval of the consent items.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Trustee Pat Maritato first.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Schroeder second. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
and Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business, so we will move on to new business. New business. There is a request to waive first reading on new business item 225. Is there a motion to waive first reading on new business item 225? First, Trustee Light,
So moved.
second,
Second.
Trustee Schroeder. Discussion. None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
And Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
First reading is waived on new business item 225. Number 2, an ordinance rejecting bids for the Public Works Facility Trench Drain Replacement Project. First reading is waived. This is ordinance 2021-74. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2021-74? Yes, Trustee Pojek.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Schmidt, second. Discussion. No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
And Trustee Light?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-74 is approved. Number 3, an ordinance granting a conditional use to permit the operation of an automobile service station at Automobile Laundry to be located at 602 East North Avenue, 607 Patterson Avenue and 611 Patterson Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, LNI, Casey's General Stores, gas station, and car wash. From the October 21st, 2021 COW. First reading is waived. This is ordinance 2021-75. There is a motion to approve ordinance 2021-75. Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Pojek, second. Discussion. None, no discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
And Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-75 is approved. Number 4, an ordinance to amend a previously approved planned unit development for the village marketplace, planned unit development in the village of Glendale Heights, LNI 325-345 East Army Trail Road from the October 21st, 2021 COW. First reading is waived. This is ordinance 2021-36. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2021-76? Trustee Schroeder, please.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Moritato, second. Discussion? None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
And Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-76 is approved. Number 5, an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 entitled General Traffic Provisions of Title 7 entitled Motor Vehicle and Traffic of the Village Code of the Village of Glendale Heights, LNI, overweight and or over-mentioned vehicles from October 21, 2021 COW. First reading is waived. This is ordinance 2021-77. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2021-77? Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Siddiqui, second. Discussion. No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
And Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Okay, number 6, we go back to consent agenda. Number 8, a resolution repealing resolution number 2021-R-104 entitled a resolution creating the Village of Glendale Heights Ad Hoc Technology Committee and creating a new Village of Glendale Heights Ad Hoc Technology Committee, Resolution 2021-R-113. Can I get a motion to approve? Okay. Trustee Smith.
I move that we table this motion until the next regularly scheduled board meeting.
Second.
Second. Okay, number 6 is tabled. Yes. Vote of, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
and Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Okay, so this is table, number 6, We now go on to public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda items? None. There is no executive session. We are done, so adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn first?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Trustee Schroeder, and second is trustee Light. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
and trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned. Trustee Siddiqui, you have the committee of the whole.
I would like to call this committee of the whole meeting of Thursday to November 4, 2021 to order. Will the clerk please take the attendance or who is present?
I'm so noted. That's good.
Good, okay. Does anyone have any addition to the agenda? Okay. Trustee Light.
Just road project,
What was that, Mike?
road projects.
Road project, okay. Bill, yeah,
Halloween.
Halloween, okay. Anyone else? Okay, I have just one, so I would put my name.
What is it?
What is it?
What is it?
It's a friendly reminder. Okay, we now go on to public comment. Is there anyone in the public who would like to address the board? Please come to the podium if.
Trustee Siddiqui, if I may, we received an email today over the board meeting questions email account. If I could read that to the board.
Sure, go ahead.
So this was dated Thursday, November 4th, 2021 at 6:21 PM from an Alex Cashman. He stated, "At night after 10 PM, there sometimes are noisy vehicles that blast music, typically on Paddock Circle, Polo Club Drive, and Arlington Lane. Another concern is fireworks are set off at night. The pattern is very sporadic, so I haven't seen where this occurs, but the sounds seem to emanate from the vicinity of Polo Club Court. The noise could bother residents who are sleeping, so would it be possible for the Glendale Heights Police Department to enforce the noise curfew here and also address the speeding problem using things like radar speed signs? Lastly, would it also be possible to discuss lowering the property taxes set by DuPage County? With all that said, keep up the great work, everyone. Looking forward to this village meeting. Your concerned constituent, Alex Cashman."
Okay.
So I saw the acting chief taking notes. I'm sure that he will be addressing those issues.
Yes, I'll forward that through.
Okay, thank you. All right, Plan Commission recommendation. Our recommendation to approve a text amendment to the Village of Glendale Heights zoning ordinance to section 10B-3 as it pertains to self-storage facilities as a conditional use in the C2 community commercial district. Do you have a motion to move it to the board? Trustee Pat, okay.
Forget my name?
Any-
Move it to the board
Board,
for
okay.
approval.
Okay. Do we have any discussion?
Second.
Yes.
In-
I'll
Second,
second
okay.
that.
Any discussion?
No, I need a second.
Oh, you need a second, okay.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Second, yeah. Now, discussion.
I think Joanne has, do you have, no, I'm sorry?
No,
Okay.
I am certainly available for questions, and the applicant is here as well if there's any questions.
I guess not. Okay, can you take a roll call?
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
trustee, President Coker,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
and trustee Light.
Yes.
Okay, next is a recommendation to approve an application for a conditional use in the C2 Community Commercial District to allow outdoor storage of rental vehicles for property located at 325 East Army Trail Road. Do you have a motion to move it to the board? Okay, moved, who's second? Trustee
So
Light.
moved.
Okay,
Second.
second,
Harry and Mike?
yes. Any discussion? Okay, Chester.
This is probably for Joanne. Joanne, how many vehicles are allowed to be stored in the rear? Nothing in the front on this.
Correct. Sorry about that, had to turn on the mic. There we go. They did not specify the number of vehicles. There, in your packet, there's an area that is designated behind the building. So as you indicated, there would be no storage allowed in front of the building whatsoever. But behind the building, between the two landscape aisles, there's an area that will be painted, so that way anybody will know where to put them, and we'll keep any fire lanes open, so anything that can fit in there. The applicant, I believe, indicated it would be between 7 and 10 vehicles would be about the maximum.
That was my next question. How many maximum?
Yeah.
Does that include trailers, et cetera, et cetera?
It would be trucks and, so trucks and trailers, so those small trailers that are the tow behind U-Hauls.
How about signage in the front? No parking at all? Is that going to be allowed?
We can certainly add that if you'd like to if you would wish to add that, we can add that for the final
I'd
consideration.
appreciate that.
Okay. All right, I will move to the next one, which is presentation of a
We're gonna
five.
need a
we
roll
didn't
call.
vote for
Oh, sorry, roll call.
Roll call.
Trustee
Yeah.
Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
President Coker?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
And Trustee Light?
Yes.
And Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Okay, move it to the board.
Excuse me, I forgot another one for Joanne regarding this. Hours of, they're going to be open when they can drop off vehicles? We forgot that.
Yeah, and actually, the applicant is here, so they have drop-off boxes, but Catherine, if, I think
You
you
know
can
what?
answer that.
Can we hear from the petitioners
Absolutely.
if they're here?
Could I get your name and address?
Yes, Catherine Robinson, Robinson, 42 Westcott Lane.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking the time this evening to come out and discuss our application to have outside storage for these U-Haul trucks and/or trailers. The idea here is to have a designated space in the back where our customers can safely park their oversized van, U-Haul equipment, et cetera. In regards to your question, Trustee Pojek, the answer is we do have a lockbox that is safely secured about, it's my understanding, every 3 months, a U-Haul representative will come out, double check to make sure it's functioning properly, making sure that no one from the outside public can get access inside. Typically, if you have a customer who wants to come in and drop off their vehicle, what they would do is, if it is not during our business hours, they can use the app, or if it is during business hours and they want to limit their social interaction due to COVID-19, they can use the U-Haul app. They will FaceTime with a U-Haul representative. The U-Haul representative from there will give them the code. They will have this access code, which they can punch in. And then they can put the key inside that box. So it is safe, it is secure, and the employees at the location are them and the U-Haul representative are the only two individuals who have access to that box.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
That was my question.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
No, I think we are good. Any other questions? No.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
All right, I'll move to presentation of a 5-year capital improvement plan for the village wastewater treatment plant, water and sewer by Tortor and Associates.
Can I get your name and address?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Chris Marshinki with Trotter and Associates Engineering. Don't live in town, so I don't know if you need my address.
You say Chris?
Chris Marshinki, correct. Project manager with Trotter and Associates. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, I know I saw everybody a couple of weeks ago, so I appreciate you having me back. Tonight, I am talking about the infrastructure capital improvements planning that has been going on, and breaking that into three major components, those being the village's water supply and distribution, the sewer, the sanitary sewer collection and lift stations associated with the sewer system, and finally, the wastewater treatment plant. So the first one, water supply and distribution. The water system, really what we mean when we say water system in totality. It's the entire system that provides roughly 2.3 million gallons of water a day to the village's residents, commercial, industrial, and municipal users. Infrastructure that's involved in that water system includes 4 elevated water towers, 2 ground storage reservoirs, 2 booster stations, 4 standby groundwater wells, and more than 100 miles of water main stretching throughout the village of varying size. The village has gone through a handful of evaluations and studies over the last 5 years. On the water side, that being the 2020 Water Master Plan, and the intent of that master plan was to evaluate all of this infrastructure and identify what the priority needs are over a 5 and 10 year period. We can break down the capital needs on the water system side into 2 main components, that being water main replacement, and the second being rehabilitation of the facilities, the water supply facilities, storage, etc. On the water main replacement portion, the 2 components that make that up are the replacement of main that just due to age has started to break very frequently. So there's main breaks that may happen sporadically, but there are certain locations where staff will note those with increasing frequency, and that's just a sign that that main has reached its service life and needs to be replaced. And you can see we've listed out the projects here slated for within the next 5 fiscal years, so we're looking at FY '23 through '27. So there are 4 currently slated in the capital plan that are primarily due to water main breaks. The second ones are water main replacement projects that are primarily for improving fire flows throughout the community. The village has a hydraulic model that allows us to see exactly how much flow should be available out of any hydrant in the system, and we can use that information to identify areas that need additional capacity. Essentially means increasing the size of the main. An additional 3 projects were identified that kind of fit into that category. And I should say on the distribution side, there are a number of additional projects beyond this that were identified. Staff went through a prioritization system and said these are the ones that are the highest need in the 5-year program. On the facilities side of the water system, the rehabilitation portion of it, the booster station rehabilitation that has been identified is what we're calling a water supply facilities rehabilitation. There are 3 supply points where the village receives its water from the DuPage Water Commission, which in turn gets its water from Lake Michigan via the city of Chicago. There are booster stations associated with those supply points that need to be rehabilitated every so many years just due to deterioration. The other portion of it being the reservoir and tower rehabilitations. Really that means minor structural repairs and recoding. So you can see there's currently 2 projects slated for that, the Burdett West Water Tower recoding project and the Burdett West Reservoir recoding and rehabilitation project. So those are the projects that have been identified in the essentially the 2020 Water Master Plan, and I'll obviously open it up to questions at the end on anything specifically. The next component that we'll move into is the sewer collection and lift stations. So similar to the water distribution side of things, there's about 80 miles of sanitary sewer throughout the village that has to be maintained and replaced as it ages. In addition to that, there are 7 catchment areas or areas that are tributary to a lift station just due to the topography of the village, areas where the sewers cannot flow via gravity all the way to the treatment plant. We need to physically pump that water up higher so it can flow there. So the sewer system is essentially comprised of that sanitary sewer and the lift stations that do the pumping there. In 2016, as a requirement of the village's IEPA permit, the village completed what's called a CMOM, but really it's another master plan for kind of the sewer side of things that identified a number of sewer repairs that have been scheduled out over the next 5 years. And those are what you can see there from FY23 through 27. Second portion of it being lift station rehabilitation, which there's 2 more scheduled in the next 5-year plan. And the village has been completing these sewer rehabilitations and lift station rehabilitations over the previous years as well. So really, this is just taking another look at the next 5 years and quantifying everything that'll be required in that period. Moving on to the wastewater treatment facility or wastewater treatment plant. An overview of that one, we've talked about that one a couple times recently. It treats roughly 3.2 million gallons of wastewater a day. It provides what we call primary, secondary, and tertiary treatment. That's just what the state requires for a facility of this size, in addition to disinfection and sludge processing. And it is permitted and heavily regulated by the Illinois EPA. There are 2 types of projects that have been identified in the 5-year plan at the treatment facility. Regulatory upgrades to achieve compliance, and that being the nutrient removal requirements or the phosphorus removal project that we've talked about several times over the last couple of years, and projects stemming from new IEPA permit requirements. Every 5 years, the village gets a new IEPA permit, and some of the limits and requirements in there change. So there are projects that are intended to achieve compliance with those that are mandatory. Second portion of those projects being the rehabilitation of aging processes, equipment, facilities, things of that nature that just due to the age require replacement. The last major rehabilitation of the village's wastewater treatment plant, prior to the ones that are kind of ongoing right now, is really 1987 was the last major overhaul of the treatment facility. And there have been a number of smaller projects throughout, but what we're seeing is that largely there is a lot of the infrastructure that is somewhere between 30 and 35 years old at this point. The treatment plant capital needs that are strictly regulatory requirements from the Illinois EPA are the phosphorus removal project that we've identified. That will be bid in the summer of '22. And the project that's identified as a function of the revised permit requirements is the ultraviolet disinfection project. There were 2 new limits that were imposed in the latest NPDES permit that the ultraviolet disinfection or the UV disinfection project would look to resolve. And the 2 projects that are rehabilitation based are the primary clarifiers and secondary clarifiers, just 2 of the treatment processes that have not been rehabilitated since 1987 are slated in FY25 and 26. So that brings us to kind of a summary of all of those projects kind of coming together and trying to synthesize those into an improvements plan. And you're probably not going to be able to see the numbers in this specifically, but what we're looking at is on the top we have all of our water system improvements in blue, our sewer system improvements in green in the center, and on the bottom in orange are the wastewater treatment plant improvements. And this is just essentially where all of the capital expenditures would lay out, including both design, construction, engineering, and administration. So we're putting this together to be able to get a handle on basically the funding necessary to maintain all of the village's assets. So I'm going to move on because I don't think we can see too much on that one, but that'll obviously be the topic of a number of discussions moving forward. Funding alternatives for all of those projects that have been identified. Obviously, cash reserves is one of the alternatives available to the village. COVID relief funds are a relatively new one. Obviously, that is under consideration. The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 allocated about $2.2 million to the village that I believe was already received, and that's strictly population-based to all of the communities throughout the country. with an additional 2.2 million anticipated to be received in September of next year. So those are funds that are available to support that if the village so chooses. The third one that we've identified is IEPA low-interest loans. That is the current funding mechanism for the digester rehabilitation project at the wastewater treatment plant. The state offers these loans at very good interest rates. It's basically half of the GO bond market rate in order to facilitate that rehabilitation of infrastructure. So the current rate is, I believe, just over 1%. And the final one being traditional GO bonds. So with that, I know it was a little bit of a whirlwind of running through projects, and obviously we're available to discuss in depth. I want to open it up for any questions that might have jumped out at anybody.
Bill?
On one of your first slides, when you were talking about the amount that we process, the water that's delivered, I want to say, was that like 2.3 million gallons a day?
Yep, and I'll get back to that in a second here. Yep, exactly, 2.3 million gallons.
2.3 million gallons. Then when you talk about the wastewater treatment, you say we treat roughly 3.2 million gallons a day. Now, I can see less being treated due to lawn watering or loss and so on, but how do we get more wastewater treatment than water we're getting from Lake Michigan?
That is an excellent question, and the bane of a lot of public works departments. It is essentially the groundwater that enters the sewer system. So it's what we refer to as I&I, or infiltration and inflow. So that 80 miles of sanitary sewer that's throughout the village has cracks in it and holes in it because it's been constructed over the last 60 or 70 years. Groundwater, rainwater, everything enters that line and goes to the wastewater treatment facility. So for example, in severe wet weather events, the wastewater treatment plant can receive in excess of 35 million gallons in a day because all of that water from the ground is coming into the system. So all of those, the sewer improvements that we saw that were laid out in there, most of those are aimed at repair and remediating that infiltration and inflow. And that is an ongoing effort that will probably be ongoing forever just as those pipes deteriorate. But that is not unique to the village by any stretch of the imagination. That is every community experiences that.
Could I also take the opportunity to point out one other item that adds to that is the illegal sump pump connections. When people don't want to have their sump pump emptying out into their backyard and they hook it up to the sanitary sewer in their basement. So a lot of that water flows in that way. Certainly not a million gallons of it, but it adds to it.
Yep, that's of the I&I, the infiltration is all the groundwater getting in. The inflow is largely what we would call the illegal connections, sump pumps, foundation drains, things of that nature. That ultimately increase the cost to treat it, right? We have to treat that water coming in if it is coming in.
Thank you.
Chris, my question was with the water distribution on the fire side, like Belden and Ruskin, the amount of piping, are we just upsizing the piping? Are we pressurizing? I mean, what are we doing to increase?
So on the fire flow side of it, it is essentially water main replacement, but we're replacing with larger diameter mains. So all the ones identified have a number of issues with that main, right? So even the ones that are fire flow based, it is old main that has a number of breaks on it as well. So it's serving ancillary purposes. But when we're looking to resolve fire flows or improve fire flows, it's either upsizing water main or looping or connecting to another water main. The thing that decreases fire flows primarily is either small main, 4-inch being the usual culprit, which the village does not have. Many communities are dealing with 4-inch water main. The village is 6-inch and up, essentially, or dead ends. So we're trying to resolve it. If there's a dead end of a water main, it's harder to push high capacity flows, fire flows to those. So we might tie them into another main somewhere else to be able to improve the flows throughout that region, which in turn also improves water quality.
Obviously, it's not going to affect any pressure throughout any residence. so-
Nope, no, the pressure is primarily dictated by the water towers throughout the community. That's really whatever those towers sit at, that is the pressure that the village would see pretty much throughout based on elevation.
Okay, and how much is actually, like, on that Belden Reskin, how much did that actually, I never paid attention to the fire hydrants.
What portion of that would be upsized as
Yeah.
part of that project? I believe it is starting all the way from the west side, extending almost all the way to Fullerton. I think it's Ardmore as it comes up north there. I think it's right where it would split into Ardmore is the section of that project.
Okay.
Thank you. Chris, I don't think I was going to have any questions today, but one thing brought up to me, maybe, I don't know if you can answer it, and I know George is here. When you have a water main break and it's replaced with a new product, whatever it needs to repair it, what is the lifespan of that?
So, in general, we would probably say somewhere around 75 years, but it is
Oh, that
dependent on the type of material. So now we're using primarily PVC water main, plastic, or ductile iron, kind of depending on where you're at and the soil conditions and things like that. Both of those should last in that range. PVC may last longer. However, it's very susceptible to how it's installed. If it's not installed properly, that could be significantly less. You know, if they're backfilling it with large stone or boulders instead of gravel, essentially.
Our guys do a good job.
Yes.
So it's going to last.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that is a testament that we're getting significantly longer service lives kind of across the board in the village's infrastructure than we would estimate, and that's primarily because of diligent maintenance.
Thank you. You answered my question.
All right, go ahead, Pat.
Chris, these lift stations, are you saying that we have to replace all of them?
So none of them are what we'd say a full replacement. Most of them are rehabilitations. So lift stations are essentially made up of several really deep manholes or wet wells, they're called, concrete circular structures that go down 25, 30 feet into the ground, receives the water, it gets pumped up from there. Most of the rehabilitations are replacing the components of those that deteriorate. So the pumps themselves, the piping, the valves, the electrical systems, the controls. Largely the concrete and things of that nature that might be older, those stay when we do a rehabilitation. Some of the, I think the two that are currently in the 5-year plan are what we would call a retrofit, which is converting from a dry pit configuration to a submersible configuration, basically just a better way of pumping it. That's safer for operators to get in there and maintain the pumps. So it's leveraging a lot of the infrastructure that's still in good condition and has another 30 or 40 years of service life, essentially the concrete, and replacing the components that do wear out over 20, 25 years.
Okay, thank you. Mike, he was mentioning, is there any grants out there that we can go after?
You may recall, back in August, we talked about the ARPA money. I've said ARPA so many times, I don't remember what it stands for anymore, but it was the federal money that was passed through the COVID-19 outbreak, and we're receiving over 2 years, $4.5 million. The board indicated that we would like to use that $4.5 million to use on our water and sewer infrastructure. So certainly we'll be applying those funds towards these capital improvements, which is a completely allowable expense under ARPA. There are other grants that are available. I know Rachel has taken some steps to ensure that we have some items on the IEPA planning list, so that if something becomes available in the near future, with the infrastructure bill that's pending in Congress, we would be eligible, especially on the wastewater treatment side of it.
Okay, now, this 4.2 million that we received, is this a one-shot deal for that, or?
Yes, it is. So we've received 2.2 million so far this year, and next year we're scheduled to receive another $2.2 million. And that's it, right. That
that's
4.5
it.
million will be it in that program.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Chris, I got one more question for you. The Payson station was completed. It took about 4 or 5 months. It looks really nice. It dressed up the neighborhood. You fixed everything up by the park and everything. It looks really, really great.
And that's essentially how a lift station should look when it's completed, is like it's barely there. Most of it is below grade, so if you do it well, it should just be supporting the area around it, really.
Yeah, right. You did a good job on it. Thank you.
Any more questions? No?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is presentation regarding village snow ice removal.
Good evening, George Mraz, Public Works. Good evening, Mayor Coker and Board.
Good evening.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk to you tonight regarding the Public Works Snow Plan. Winter weather can be a challenge in providing safe driving conditions to the community. In northern climates, snow and ice events pose a serious safety risk and can cause major disruptions. The Snow and Ice Response Team in Public Works ensures safe driving conditions throughout the village of Glendale Heights. Winter storm incidents can strike at any time, day or night. And each storm is unique. This requires a flexible response by Public Works, taking into account storm intensity, rate of accumulation, timing, wind speed, and temperature. Key factors can impact a winter storm event. Time of the day, amount of snow, and rate of accumulation. Air and ground temperatures will dictate the equipment and material used. Storm duration to manage staffing levels. Staff availability and driver fatigue. I do want to note that it's not one of our drivers. Snow and ice events are responded to immediately. Should an event occur out of normal hours, snow commanders are tracking weather and informing the Director of Public Works of Operations. On-call staff are contacted and required to arrive at Public Works within 50 minutes. 15 drivers are on call for each winter storm event. The on-call staff rotate on a weekly basis. Snow Command's contact phone number is area code 630-260-6068. This number is answered during snow operations. Two key performance indicators for snow and ice responses are, within 8 hours following an event, all streets are cleared to wet pavement conditions. This includes courts and dead ends. 100% of all snow and ice events are plowed curb to curb within 24 hours after an event. Interesting facts. The village of Glendale Heights has 152 lane miles of road and 147 courts and dead ends. That requires snow and ice removal for each and every event. There are 7 main snow routes and 8 court routes. There are approximately 35 pieces of equipment that can be deployed for snow and ice operations. A snowstorm is considered an emergency event, and our policy is to respond immediately, regardless of time, day or night. The response and operation differ for each unique winter storm event. Roadways that the village is not responsible for. North Avenue, that is IDOT's, Schmell Road, Bloomingdale Road, Glen Ellen Road, and Army Trail. Those are undertaken by DuPage County, and there are several subdivisions throughout the village of Glendale Heights that we do not maintain. That would be Villas of Red Oaks, Polo Club Point to Westfield Square and Westfield Pine. Trucks are outfitted with snow and ice equipment and tested for proper functionality. Required maintenance and repairs are undertaken as needed, usually in October, as well as throughout the winter season. Snow and ice routes are driven and inspected for potential hazards to be addressed. This is undertaken by driving curb lines and visually identifying hazards and deficiencies. Placement of curbside mailboxes. Mailboxes should be placed in the parkway 1 foot behind the back of the curb and 42 inches above the pavement surface, as per ordinance, Title 8, Chapter 1, Section 8-1-6. Mailboxes that are damaged due to snow plowing are inspected by division supervisors for repairs and replacement with a standard mailbox and post. Street parking during snowfall. Streets that are designated snow routes have posted signs. Snow routes after 1 inch of snowfall, street parking is prohibited for 24 hours after snowfall or until operations are completed. All village streets after 2 inches of snowfall, street parking is prohibited for 24 hours or until snow has been removed. An event of 5 or more inches, street parking is prohibited for 72 hours or until operations have been completed. Village roadways are categorized as primaries, secondaries, courts, and dead ends. Primaries are the main roads throughout the village that are arterials to the state and county roads. We also include school zones and the Glen Oaks Medical Hospital as part of our primaries. Secondaries are less traveled roads. These are the collector roads that motorists drive to the arterials. Examples of these would be like Basswood, Seams Drive, Asbury Drive, Norton Avenue, and Elkeld Avenue. Courts and eyebrows are the least traveled, and some of these are Schmelk Court, Vista Court, Flagstaff Court, Eagle Court, Nice Court, and so on. Village equipment. We have 3 tons and 5 tons that are our primary trucks to clear the routes. We have 8 large trucks that are equipped with V-box spreaders as well as onboard 180-gallon tanks for liquid calcium chloride. And we also utilize multi-directional snowplow blades. We have 6 medium-duty trucks, 1 tons, that have spreaders and multi-directional blades. These trucks are not equipped with onboard tanks. Should a primary truck go down or out of service, one of these medium duties could be used to continue operations. We have 16 pickup trucks, and they're equipped with multi-directional blades as well. These are versatile trucks utilized to clear courts and dead ends, as well as village parking lots. They are also deployed in more severe conditions to assist the main plow drivers for clearing the streets, as well as bumping back intersections of snow. We have 2 front-end loaders and 3 combination backhoes that are utilized for large amounts of snow buildup. We have pre-wetting operations. Pre-wetting is spraying liquid onto the salt prior to dispensing the salt onto the roadway. Onboard liquid tanks enable this operation. Pre-wetting practices are highly efficient as it accelerates the de-icing process. Pre-salting. When Snow Command has advance warning of a snowstorm, salt can be utilized on the roads beforehand, before an event. This prevents ice from sticking to the pavement and lessens the amount of salt needed. The IEPA, or the EPA, states that pre-salting can reduce salt usage by 40 to 75%. This task can be accomplished in a short time frame and usually 2 to 3 hours in advance of an anticipated storm, and usually is undertaken during normal work hours. $2,000 to 2,400 tons of salt is typically utilized annually. Current road salt costs $58.37. And we purchase that through the state of Illinois contract. We also utilize 12,000 to 24,000 gallons of liquid calcium chloride with a cost of 62 cents per gallon. Both of these products are stored at our Public Works facility. Individual driver records. Event costs are calculated and emailed to the village board for each event. Each event, drivers complete a snow and ice driver record. From this, time and material information is calculated to provide an overall cost of each event. Neighboring communities. Surrounding communities range in approach from employing anti-icing operations to only applying salt at key locations such as hills, curbs, and intersections. Some utilize vehicles up to 3 days in advance of an event for their anti-icing program. Anti-icing is placing of liquid product, salt brine, organic materials, and calcium chloride onto the pavement prior to an event. Some begin snow operations after 1 to 2 inches of snowfall has occurred or the event has ended. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
I got one for you, George.
All right, Mike.
All right, in reference to the material that's put down, what is the best rate, the most efficient rate that we put the salt down on? What is our number at right now? What do we use?
Well, it all depends. As it gets colder, salt is, obviously, as we use more at lower temperatures to turn the ice into a liquid form, it lowers the temperature at which things freeze. So at a higher temperature, when we're around 30, we wouldn't have to use as much. But we usually target about 300 as a starting point. We may lower it or we may raise it depending on the event.
And that helps with the efficiency itself as far as getting enough material down on the ground. We're not putting material all the time down on the ground. I mean, I
No,
know
we
each event's
don't.
different.
No, we don't. We actually, once we are into a long duration storm, we would concentrate our material only to hills, curves, and intersections. So we wouldn't be salting all the time for every pass that those trucks make. So there might be times that you just see the trucks going by.
We're not pushing it into the curb, basically.
Correct.
Okay.
It would be a waste to just keep salting.
That's all I had.
All right, trustee Pat.
George, I don't want to beat you up.
Thank you.
Are all our trucks ready to go?
At this time, we are very close, but we do have some more operations that we do have to take care of. We are still undertaking some asphalt repairs for some utilities. So we do have some trucks at this time that are not ready to go. At a moment's notice, if we had to, we could get all of our staff involved, and we could outfit them in under 8 hours and have them ready to go. Those would be our large trucks.
Okay, do we replace any hoses or plow blades? I mean, do we put everything new on the equipment
No, we
at
assess.
at the start of a season, or?
No. We replace them as we're going, and we do take notice of them. We do put on blades. We probably get about 5 to 6 inch wear off of them. We use 8-inch blades on our large trucks, and we do keep an eye on those. As they get lower, we will change them out. So we do have additional plow blades on hand along with curb guards and things like that.
So now, are we using the carbine blade first and then a regular blade, or we're just using a straight plow blade?
We're using a straight plow blade with carbide curb guards that are about 1.5 inches thick with carbide on the bottom of them. And we also use a center guard to prolong them. We typically get about a whole season out of one large plow blade. So we've boosted that up because we're using different materials than what we used to use. So we are seeing them last a whole season instead of changing them out at least twice a season.
Okay, are we using chloride all the time?
Not all the time. In higher temperatures, we wouldn't deploy it. So if we were above 30 and we got a dusting of snow, we probably wouldn't have to use the calcium chloride.
Okay, now I'm gonna hit you with a trick
Okay.
question. What's your plan B if we can't get salt?
If we can't get salt,
Yeah.
well, we typically do have enough salt on hand and we keep it that way. If we can't get it, we would have to seek other means of getting salt. We do have some sand on hand, so if we did run out of salt for some odd reason, like we did in 2013, 14, I believe it was, basically the whole state of Illinois, except for IDOT and the tollway, everybody was strapped for salt. And
Okay,
we did
very-
pretty good during that time.
Very good, because that was my question. We should load up on sand just in case. We can mix the sand with the salt.
Yeah.
And we can go a lot further.
Yep, we do keep some of that on hand for other options, or not primarily for putting down on the roads, but we just have it.
Okay. Thanks, George. Very good.
Any other question?
Good presentation.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right, next is Camera Park Improvement Project Update.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and Board, for the opportunity to give a brief update on the camera park replacement or improvement project currently going on. Tonight's presentation will include an overview of the project, work completed to date, and what still has to be completed. As everyone remembers, community input and staff working with Hitchcock Design Group led us to the design for the camera park update. This picture of the core area camera park shows the layout of the core area and the work to be done. The camera park plan includes inclusive playground with resilient rubber surfacing, challenge and obstacle course on synthetic turf, an outdoor fitness equipment on synthetic turf, recirculating splash pad with safety surfacing, a new restroom building with shelter seating area, additional shade sail canopy on the playground area, educational areas with interpretive signage, and a 9-hole disc course. I would now like to share the items that have been completed. Our 9-hole disc golf course goes throughout Camera Park, starting by the entrance off of Fullerton and working its way through the park. This course has been active throughout the summer with many disc golfers playing throughout the week, and many of them playing more than 9 holes as they go through. If you haven't been by Camera Park and seen the golfers, they're out there and it's amazing how many people are playing. The planned inclusive playground has been installed. This is a major component of the south end of the core area and is now complete. You are currently looking at an aerial at aerial footage of the playground at Camera Park shot by the PR division. This gives you an overview of the location of the playground equipment and the layout of the equipment as it is placed currently. The splash pad is located in the center of the core area and has 12 different spray events, 25 in-ground jets, and 2 activators for kids to enjoy the summer heat. This will be in place and ready to go for next summer as well. So where are we at right now? We still have items that need to be completed. Currently, the challenge course, which is located in the northeast section of the park, is beginning to be laid out. They will be laying that out, moving from south to north, and this will offer 7 features that will challenge kids of all ages. The outdoor fitness equipment will be located in the north central portion of the core area. This multi-use piece of equipment can be utilized by exercisers going through Camera Park. The building that will house the mechanical controls and restroom was delivered a few weeks back. If you haven't been by, there's a bunch of materials in the front of the park. The foundation, plumbing, and electric coming into the building are currently under construction, and after that, they will start putting the building up after they knock down the current building. So where are we at? So this is the same schedule that was presented at an earlier meeting. Everything is on schedule for substantial completion to be done towards the middle of December, with final acceptance expected before the end of the year. Before I close my presentation, I wanted to show another aerial video of the core area that was taken a few weeks ago by the PR division. This kind of really gives you a feel of where we're at with the pour and play on the playground and the splash pad in place. And you can see the foundation of the building on the left-hand side has already been poured, and things are moving forward. This is actually taken, thank you to the PR division during our last food distribution event. So if you look in the background, that's what you're seeing. At this point, I'd like to thank you for your time. If anybody does want to go out and take a look at the site in person, I would love to have people out. I know I took the mayor out not long ago just to kind of walk and see what was out there. But it is making progress, and it will be done, hopefully, knock on wood, by the end of this year. They're still anticipating that's the case. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah. There is a cricket ground in the Camera Park, correct?
Yes.
So what are the steps we are taking to keep the people safe from that ball? Because when I went over there, I noticed that, that ball can be really dangerous, because when the batsman strikes, and the proximity of, especially the pathway, which I saw, people are walking over there. So, and I think, because there is a couple of incidences happen, and I see that there is no change on that pathway. So what are the steps we are taking to make sure that
So what isn't in the picture is that the area that is to the, I'm going to call it the west of the building, so to the left-hand side of that picture, we're going to be increasing the berm area in that to separate the park from the cricket grounds even more. Additionally, there are plantings that are put in place there to help protect the building and the areas that are back there.
Because you know that it's not just a ball. They can hit with it can be gone directly hit to the person. It's not necessary. So are you planning to maybe put some netting or something like that on the boundaries?
At this time, there's no intention for putting netting. Some of the things that we have looked at, though, are some additional signage or maybe some pedestrian pathway signage to protect that area.
Or can you remove the pathway from that? Because the signage is really not going to work. I mean, people still going to be walking, and although it's just like, okay, there is a cricket match going on, and no one really pay attention and those balls could be deadly. I mean, I know cricket, there were players who died because when the ball strikes directly to you. So that's one of the concern.
We can certainly look at that area and what to do. the pathway that is there is a major thoroughfare for staff and others to be able to get through that park. I know it's utilized by not just Parks Department, but police when they're going through the parks. It gives them an access point. We'll have to look at that. That's something we can certainly
Or, I
examine.
mean, like,
if we
just
go.
to that pathway area, if we can have some height netting, that could also, because, you know, when the ball strikes, it can stop over there.
We can certainly look into
Okay.
that.
Thank you. Chester?
Hey, Keith, I got a question for you. On that splash pad,
Yes.
does that shoot up all the time?
Yeah, so there's, I'm gonna give you the wrong number, but there's about 25 different jets in there. None of them are supposed to go above 6 feet. So it's really all kind of a low-level water flow that comes up, but it gives the opportunity, yes, to,
Now,
Chester,
does
there's
that
an-
run continuously?
There's an actuator, so when a person comes to use it, they would push the button and then it would turn on.
That's what
Right.
my
It would
question.
turn on
if
for a
it's
certain period of
sensor or
time and then
something.
come off, yes.
we actually have 2 actuators, so they can come in from both sides.
As long as it's not running continuously and
Right.
wasting water.
Yes, we are able to set the timer of the actuator.
Okay. Now, when nobody's at the park and somebody wants to start going to the splash pad, will it go down automatically then?
They would have to hit that actuator, so they would be able to walk
They
up
gotta
and.
hit
Yep.
something.
It's and I apologize, I don't want them hitting it. It is a sensor thing. Don't hit it, please.
Okay. All right, thanks. That's all I had, Keith.
All right. Trustee Meritato?
I ask you this question all the time. What's our warranty on the motor?
On the motor we got an additional period of time on the motor, and I apologize, I don't remember what that time period was.
Because I don't want it to start now, and then by spring, we're already 8 months into it, and we didn't even use it yet. With
Yes.
a year warranty.
Yes, I'll have to get back to you, trustee Merita. I do not remember what the warranty is on that.
Is that water drained then or something?
It's a recirculating splash pad, so it just gets drained at the end of the season, but the water flows back into the building and is a recirculating system set up.
Okay.
So we're trying to limit the waste.
All right. Any other question?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, trustee Light, road project.
Road projects, I was just looking for updates. I know we've gone like way behind on our time, way over our time for our projects, trying to wrap them up. Are we getting them finished soon?
The substantial completion for the road project was November 1st, and they actually paved November 1st. So they got all the pavement down. They still have punch list items to do, and we're sending a letter this week to tell them what those outstanding items are.
Is that just our major stuff or just the small patch stuff also done?
No, it'll be everything, every single thing, any defects, any problems, any cracks, we will identify everything and put them on notice to get those corrected. They
Okay,
have,
and-
12 months to correct those.
Okay, and that gives us the warranty then with everything? Because I know I drove it and there were some spots, I mean, it was a little questionable. Brandon and Gregory down through there, I didn't know how that was gonna hold up.
We're aware of the issues on North Brandon and Gregory, and we are in talks with the contractor. We have to tell them first what the issues are, and then they will come back to us with a recommendation.
All right, cool, because I'll drive around and find a few, I'm sure. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, trustee Schmidt.
Last Sunday, I did traffic control at Safety Town for Halloween, and I just want to commend the police department for their putting on the community-wide event again. Well-received by all, having the officers out there in costume interacting with the guests was outstanding. Regal as Batman, he fits it, yeah, and then I wanted to thank the rest of the staff members who participated and thank the community volunteers that helped out. But it was a great community event, and let's keep it up and make sure that happens year after year after year. Thank you.
Bill, I can add to that. I know, and it does really good here at Safety Town because I live right down the street. I get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trick-or-treaters. We spend almost $100 on candy every year. And we go through almost all of it. You know, it was great to see the kids out, and it was a great event. Everybody, I mean, thank you guys taking care of that down here.
And actually, I want to add my 2 cents. I've been taking classes at the police academy, going through that, and I really appreciate how hardworking and professionals you have. I really enjoyed it, so I really want to put 2 cents on that. Thank you.
If I could just add, Trustee Schmidt, Police Department does do an excellent job on this. Parks Department also works very hard throughout the week to ensure that the Safety Town is ready to go and everything is put out and set up just right. So I just wanted to, if you don't mind.
Sorry, sir, I did not mean to overlook the Parks Department because it is a very hardworking group of people. But,
You keep crying
thank you
for
to all.
that.
Yeah.
Keith doesn't know, but
I want to say something. I was there and it was excellent. It looked like there were thousands. How many people did we?
2,140 people, exactly.
Say that again?
2,140 people.
Really?
Yep. And I distributed almost 600 pounds with my right hand and left hand and both hands.
yes, there were
And
thousands.
Mr. Keith was there.
Yes, it was
Trustee
fantastic. You guys
Trustee
did a great
Siddiqui came,
job.
you know,
And you passed out enough toothbrushes?
everybody.
That was my job.
He came for
Oh, that was your job
30
too,
minutes,
yes.
40
Yeah,
minutes.
just to
1
make
hour.
sure teeth are clean and bright.
Yes.
Yep. All right, any other? No, all right, I'm the last one. So,
And I have to add, Miss Rachel, she's doing wonderful job, She's working on streets and water, wonderful job.
all right,
Thank you,
great.
Ms. Rachel.
Any other department left? I think we all are doing great job.
Everybody is
Yeah.
doing excellent.
So now take me to me, which is, I'm the last one to add
And
some.
Mr. Peppers, he's acting chief. He's working more than double
No
what
doubt
he is
about that.
supposed to. Yeah,
I know
working
that.
very hard.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Peppers.
All right, so I just want to remind the people of Glendale Heights and all the staff here that there are 6 trustees also working here. And they are elected people. And I am not elected here just to come and read this and then go home. Our job is much more than that. And I also want to remind that this is not a one-man show town. This is, if someone is thinking this is just a one-man show town, he's wrong. Because so far, I still believe that Glendale Heights is a part of DuPage, which is a part of Illinois, and which is a part of United States. And United States is still a democratic country. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Strino, so just want to remind that this is not a one-man show. Everything has to go through the board, and we are here for you. So I request all the employees, my doors are open. If you find having issues working and maintaining your family life and work, my doors are open. You can call me anytime, you come, and I believe the rest of the board is also here to hear you. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
I just want to make a comment. Taylor, trustees are the backbone of this village. I wish the residents would contact the trustees. They don't. They go to different department heads, which is okay, but the trustees should know what's going on in their district. If somebody has got a complaint in my district, they better call me, not somebody else. We are the backbone of this village, the trustees. Trustees actually run the village. Am I correct, Mike?
Well, absolutely, the village board sets a policy for the village and the direction and ensures the oversight of employees in the different departments, yes.
I mean, if they need our phone numbers, it's back on the village newsletters. All the names of the trustees, the phone numbers, and the district that they operate.
Well, it's all online now.
You what?
It's all online now.
Well,
Newsletters aren't
a
good.
lot of people don't go to online. I don't. Go ahead, Pat.
That's why a couple months ago, I told Joanne, or I told the whole staff that we wanted complaints from the residents. Joanne, you're doing a great job, because what I don't want, I don't want all the permits. That's all I'm looking for, are complaints from the residents. Because then they can contact their trustee first, or however they want to do it. But I'm sure everybody on this board, the door is open for any resident that want to talk to any one of us. I mean, I can probably vouch for everyone on this board. I mean, our doors are always open for everybody. So, I mean, if you got a complaint, I mean, anybody,
Yeah.
residents,
And that includes the employees as well of the city.
employees, department heads, I don't care who they are. If you got a complaint, you come to the board. And then we'll talk to the mayor, and we'll straighten it out with the mayor will straighten it out with you, or whatever the case may be. Bring the complaints to us. And if you have a complaint with the mayor, you know what? Call him up on his phone. Say, you know what, I want a meeting with you, Mayor. And then,
I am open
You meet
24/7, anytime, any
But
resident,
certainly it's
any
not a one-man
trustee.
show.
no, it's not a
Any
one-man
person.
show.
Thank you.
No.
That's all I wanna.
No.
All right, is there any other
And I
question?
forgot to thank you, Ms. Joanne. She issued 3,000 permits last year, 2020.
Yep.
Wonderful job.
Trustee Schmidt,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
second. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
President Coker,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
Trustee Light,
Yeah.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
and Trustee Pojek.
Definitely.